me say I'm aggressively happy with this month. And not just in reading terms. Hello there fellow viewer, my name is Gabriel, and today I'm here to bring you my June wrap-up. You may or may not recall, but last month I did not read one single young adult book. I can actually say that June was the polar opposite of May. I only read one adult book this month. I read 4 fantastic young adult novels, 3 of them over 500 pages that I absolutely adore. June was the month that I started watching Game of Thrones, and let me tell you, that freaking show just deserves all the hype that it's getting. June was the month of Jurassic World. It's so rare the occasion of me actually going to the movie theaters. I remember I went to see Mockingjay Part 1, and then I only went to see Insurgent when it came out, and now I went May, Age of Ultron, which was phenomenal. June, Jurassic World, which was just epic. I loved it. I'm seriously pondering to actually go to the cinema and watch that movie again, which hasn't happened in 5 years. And next month is going to be Ant-Man with my favorite actress, Evangeline Lilly. I am so freaking excited. Let's get on with the wrap-up, shall we? The first book I finished this month, included in the over 500 page category, is The Lost Hero by Riordan, the first book in the Heroes of Olympus. I had been waiting to get my hands on these books for such a long time. It's honestly ridiculous. I personally am a big fan of the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I actually read all 5 books in those series the year that The Lost Hero came out. Unbeknownst to me, the reason why I do not pick these books up right away, which is sad, and I had to wait 4.5 years, but hey, like I said, better late than never. Needless to say, I absolutely loved The Lost Hero. I thought it was a fantastic start to the Heroes of Olympus series. Fresh off the page, we get new characters, we get a new plot, we get a new antagonist. It's brilliant. I loved it. If you don't know what the Heroes of Olympus and Percy Jackson and the Olympians books are about, just imagine gods and normal people having children, and those children having powers and going on quests and fighting evil giants. That's how the books usually go, and it's awesome. I recommend it to everyone. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars because how could I not? It has everything I look for in a book, so that's The Lost Hero. I have a mostly spoilery book talk on this book, and if you are interested in discussing it with me, I will be linking that down below. The only reason I did not pick up The Son of Neptune right away is because of the next book that I read this month, and that is Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. This is a book that I've been waiting to read for almost exactly a year now. I remember I really wanted to get my hands on it right before I started my booktube channel, and that was in August of last year, so around this time of the year I really wanted to get my hands on this book. I just discovered so many other good books that I wanted to buy, and also the common opinion on this book wasn't very high on booktube, so I kind of numbed it. However, a friend of mine acquired it, and she was kind enough to borrow it to me. If I wasn't reading it, I was probably appreciating this fantastic cover, because if you know me, you know I love wings, and just this is awesome. This is awesome. Personally, I found the book a little bit slow. It was good, but just it took so long to actually pick up. During the last 70, maybe 50 pages is when it really gets interesting. This is a typical post-Twilight paranormal YA read. Never having read Twilight, I can actually say that I've had a taste of that, because that's almost the exact same thing. There just isn't a love triangle, at least in the first book in the series. I don't know what happens in the rest. I give it 3 out of 5 stars, I believe. I don't know if I gave it 4, but I think I gave it 3 simply because, again, it took so long to pick up. Another problem I had with it was the very cliche and kind of cringeworthy romance. When the romance is this much integrated into the novel, it's so important for the story to progress, it kind of turns me off. The main problem I had with it was also my main driving force, and that was our protagonist, Patch Cipriano, the fallen angel. I have no idea how my opinion stands on that guy, because on one side we have this creepy stalker dude who just doesn't respect boundaries, and then on the other we have this actually caring guy who has actually fallen in love for the first time in centuries. I don't know. I enjoyed it. If I ever got my hands on the second book, then I would definitely pick it up, but it's not something that I'm going to run to the bookstore to get. So obviously what followed was The Son of Neptune by Riordan, and what I have to say about this book is basically what I said for The Lost Hero. I loved it. I personally think that with each book the series is getting better and better. The Son of Neptune just really upped its game, and besides, we got Percy Jackson back in this book. How can this fact not be object of fanboying? Because Percy Jackson, that's all I really want to say. We also got new characters in this book, and the quest was fantastic. Really, really loved it. Also gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Rick Riordan just never, ever misses anything at all in a book. As soon as I put down The Son of Neptune, I obviously picked up The Mark of Athena, also by Rick Riordan, the third book in the Heroes of Olympus series, and this one, to me so far, is the best. It's the biggest, it's the one that has the most characters, the one that has the most relationship development between these main characters. Percy Jackson quests have never taken the demigods outside of the United States, excluding, obviously, Canada and The Son of Neptune, because that was like for 10 minutes. But in this, they actually travel to Europe. Everything about this book was fantastic. The characters, the plot, the mythology. I loved it. I thought it was so great. This book is actually from the New York Public Library, which I thought was pretty cool. If the other two books were 5 stars, this book deserved 7 or 8 because it was just that fantastic. I loved it. I cannot wait to continue with the series. I am seriously thinking of buying the next 2 final books in the series. My heart aches for these characters, for these books, and for this plot. This is an amazing series, and again, I recommend it to everyone. And the last book that I read / am currently reading this month is Nobody Knows by Amanda Taylor, the only adult and actually very adult book that I am reading this month. I'm including this in the wrap-up because I know for a fact I'm going to finish it before yesterday, the last day of June. This was worded to me by another friend who knows I like to read. She thought I'd enjoy it, and so she borrowed it to me. I was very thankful. This is just the exact opposite of the Percy Jackson book. Those books are fun and they're funny. They're full of adventure and action and awesomeness. And this book is a very, very dramatic and drastic life story of a young girl. This book is actually treated and advertised as a memoir because Amanda Taylor is actually a pen name for an American girl. It says here, Amanda Taylor is the pen name of an American teenager. This is her first book. It is about her very, very tragic childhood. It's honestly painful to read. I started it yesterday and it really wears you down. I'm driving myself to read it because my friend was kind enough to borrow it to me, and honestly, after the mythology of Percy Jackson, I just need something to pull me off the clouds right now. On the cover it says, a story of abuse, tragedy, and anger that now everyone will know. I kind of have to do my research to know if this is actually a memoir because this book is actually shocking me and just yeah. My July TBR include, among others, these 2 fantastic books that arrived this month. This one a few hours ago this morning. The Wrath and Dawn by Renee Adier. Let's hope I'm saying that right. I'm so sorry. And The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. This is a book I've been wanting to read ever since I read the summary because it's about a girl who was born with wings. It's magical realism. I finally got my hands on it. This cover is beautiful. I did not know it was this amazing. And The Wrath and Dawn is actually one of my few pleasure buys. I am allowed so little of these that when I saw this book, I just really want to read that, and I went ahead and bought it for myself because I am so interested in this book. This is a retelling of 1001 Nights. We have a fear-inducing ruler who takes a lover every single night and then kills her in the morning. I believe that's how it goes. This happens to our protagonist's best friend. She wants to get revenge and volunteers as one of his brides, but discovers that everything isn't as it seems. That just sold it for me. I gotta get my hands on this book, and so I did. This cover is beautiful. I love it. It's shiny, it's red, it's gold. Very excited. And that is it. Those are the books that I read during June and some of the books I plan to read during July. If you read any of these books, tell me what you thought of them down below. I will be having book talks for The Son of Neptune and The Mark of Athena soon, so stay tuned for those. I hope you had an amazing month of June. I know I did. I hope this coming month is also a fantastic month for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you stay tuned for my next videos, and remember to keep your day a very bookish one. Goodbye!